Hi! It's been a while since I had a guest on my channel. Obviously all of you are really excited about The Witcher coming out, and us being Polish people, I mean, we had to watch it. I brought my sister here because she read the books and she knows stuff, whereas I don't, so... we're going to rate the costumes in The Witcher and find some historical inspiration that was going on in the series, because I feel like every single fantasy movie that ever was out somehow is inspired by history, like historical fashion. Obviously, we need to rate the male characters as well, even though we don't know crap about male fashion and armor and what people should wear to battle, but obviously we're gonna get our opinion on this. Let's start off with the main character. The Witcher's costumes, yay or nay? Yay! I feel like they knew because of the games that the character is known looking a certain way, and they were like, we need to make him look similar to the games because people will be pissed.
Yeah, I think so. I quite like his costumes because they're like rough.
Yeah.
How to
rough.
He is supposed to be the Witcher. Like, I think in the first episodes they said that he looks bad. Some characters said, somebody told him to buy something new.
Yeah, they complained about his looks.
Yeah, so true. I think it's good because he's supposed to be like poor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. I think especially his cloak looks kind of lame. I mean, in a good way. Like, it looks like it's supposed to be crappy. Like, it's just pulled over on his neck. And I think I like his clothes because they're quite textured. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on, like some metal stuff and I don't know. So we also have his, like, palace outfit that he wore to the thing. So the palace one was
funny. You could see how he felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I think that was the point. So, and there was also the leather jacket that he wore when Jaskier was ill that I hated. It looked like 2011 jacket.
The one
like
Jennifer's house.
Yeah. Oh, that was kind of lame.
It looks like my leather jacket I wear every day.
Looks like your leather jacket, and you're not the Witcher, so... History inspiration. Do we have any historical inspiration in Geralt's outfit?
I have no idea, it's like male fashion.
Most of the other male characters in the show, they are wearing like 16th, 17th century inspired jackets, but he apparently doesn't care.
Maybe it's just because he's the Witcher and they have different fashion tastes, so he doesn't have the same stuff.
And also his pants don't really look very historical because they're tight.
But he is supposed to look hot.
I know, true. So let's move on to his friend Jaskier, maybe?
Yeah.
Yay or nay? Yay! We like Jaskier's outfit. He, I think, is one of the most historically inspired characters in the show because he keeps wearing like Tudor style stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe his pants are not completely
I don't remember.
well for the era, because like Tudor stuff would probably be more puffy, and his pants I think are a bit tighter than they would be in the Tudor era. But I mean the cut, it looks like a Tudor jacket, and then he also had the slashes.
Yeah, the slashes.
Yeah.
I like it too.
And I think the leather jacket was also cut, and that's a very popular decoration.
And he had the decoration when they went to kill the dragon. He had like embroidery, so it's certainly too. His
color palette is interesting because it's quite crazy, but at the same time it is kind of historical. Like if you look at historical paintings, not all of them are like black and brown. Some of them are really crazy, especially I think German fashion. I don't know. I think I remember German paintings from like 16th, 17th century that are kind of like that.
Oh, you know what I think he is missing? The hat with the feather. Because the hat with a feather was like his significant look. And in the books, Geralt would go to some city and see a person with this hat and he's like, Jaskier.
Oh,
and I think it's kind of, I kind of missed that. He didn't have this special thing. He would look ridiculous.
True, but I mean he already kind of does. He looks like a bard, let's face it. Yeah. So I guess that's a job well done. Should we move on to our favorite Triss? We have a problem. We have a problem with Triss because we feel that she's kind of miscast and
she does. I mean, in a show, it's just
we're not fans of Triss in the show, but her outfits though, yay or nay? I think that's gonna be a first nay.
Nay, no. I mean, it may be influenced by the fact that I really hate Triss in the show.
Maybe slightly influenced.
Yeah, but also I think the fabric of the outfit. Fabric of the outfit looks very cheap, like the thing you would buy in a second-hand shop.
Oh, I wish I could buy stuff like that.
No, but it's
I know what you
sparkly,
mean.
I think.
Yeah, it's shiny and it doesn't look like a natural fiber. So I've noticed a lot of her dresses have this front fan thingy that was featured in in 1840s and 1850s dresses a lot, and just the front section made me think of 1840s. And I noticed she wears a lot of like dress and cape combo that should look cool but doesn't really look cool. So how about Calanthe? How do you feel about Calanthe's outfits?
Okay,
you're going nay on Calanthe.
There are some stuff I don't like about her outfits, like the gatherings on her dress, because it looks like a very cheap antique kind of dress, and I didn't like the sleeves. I mean, I think I liked like 2 dresses, but they weren't really that cool. Also, I like the armor.
Oh yeah, that's
because
badass.
It's the armor. So
yeah,
like,
and she doesn't have the
this,
breast kind of armor that's featured in every single fantasy when a woman is involved. She has like the full badass armor.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So I like that. But the outfits were like the one she wore when she tried to like cheat Geralt into taking another Ciri looked like a copy of Ciri's dress.
I feel like her dresses were kind of all over the place. There wasn't one single silhouette that she would wear, and I think it would be nice if there was, because if you look at like historical queens, they usually stuck to like one style. I know there's supposed to be like time differences, but I think a lot of her dresses were like 1930s inspired, with the velvety things and the bodice, especially in the very first scene I think that we see her in. She's wearing a velvet dress with like puffy sleeves, and there is some gathering here. I think that looks a lot like 1930s.
I don't like the one she had when she tried to, again, give this fake Ciri to Geralt. She had a lot of like shiny stuff over here.
And also, I mean, she is a queen, so she should have the best stuff.
Yeah, and she had like the plain stuff.
I feel like I said yay, and now I'm just hating on all of her clothes.
No, because you should do yay, but then you think about like Cersei Lannister with her embroidered lions, and you're like, well, this is just bad.
Yeah, true. Well, I'll still go yay, because I just feel that she looks nice in the clothes. Oh, I also thought that she does look a bit Pre-Raphaelite sometimes. Like, it looks like someone took historical clothing and tried to make it look historical, like historical style fantasy dress. It kind of made me think of Pre-Raphaelite paintings. How do we feel about men's fashion in general? Because there's a lot of smaller characters that I don't think we're gonna discuss every one of them, but all in all...
I really didn't pay attention. Okay, I thought we were going to the only woman clothes.
I know, but like, it would be unfair.
Yay.
I'm gonna do like half and half, because I'm not sure. So here's what I think about men's clothing. I feel like it blended in with the surroundings, which is good, but at the same time it was nothing new. It looked like your generic fantasy costume. Like, if I was supposed to draw a fantasy costume in 5 minutes, this is what I would come up with. There was some 17th century in there, 16th century. Mousesack, I think, was wearing a sort of like 15th century stuff. I don't know what it's called. But at the same time, there wasn't like one style for each country, or something that they did in Game of Thrones, but when they like were like, this culture wears this culture is inspired by this century. Here was kind of all mixed, and it kind of turned out a bit generic.
Yeah, I don't remember actually, but what I remember is sometimes it felt too much like Tudor fashion, and then I stopped like thinking it's The Witcher. I was more like, oh, is it historically show? What am I watching? I mean, I always imagine it to be more like medieval. I don't know. Maybe because it's just fantasy and I have such a stigma about it. So
yeah, but maybe because of the games and because it's Slavic, we think of Slavic as medieval and not Tudor, obviously, because like we think of all the cultures that were before Christianity, so we're like early medieval time, loose gowns and stuff, and then we have Tudors and 16th century, and we're like, when you think Slavic, you don't think 16th century
But that's because
Poland.
you think it's Slavic, it's not. Then you read the books and you're like, what's going on? Is this some weird fairy tale?
True, yeah, I know, it's this stereotype.
Because of the games.
Yeah, but I remember watching the trailer and thinking about all the costumes, and I was like, it's kind of a mess, because there was too many inspiration going on when it came to like the silhouette. And about the armor, we're no experts in armor. Like, we don't know the battlefields, we don't know the history of the armor. Like, I see some armor, I think it looks nice, it's okay. This one, like Nilfgaardian armor, which is so controversial, everyone is complaining about it. To be completely honest, I didn't care about it until I saw all the complaints. Obviously, it's not something you see every day because it's made of leather apparently, and it does look completely impractical on the battlefield because you can just go right through it, right? And for something that is supposed to be like super powerful and something that you fear kind of and, you know, are excited about, it doesn't look that powerful if it's made of something soft. So maybe that's why it's so awkward because it's supposed to be like this power force that comes into your village and, you know, rages it, whereas you're wearing something so soft and like useless.
Yeah, I mean, I think the shapes on the armor are weird, but at the same time you can imagine that because Nilfgaard is like the other country, they have different tastes. You kind of can see that they're different. They're like the bad ones, and you can see there's a different culture and all that stuff. They even have the different language. It looks weird, but you can like...
You can differentiate them from the other ones, but at the same time, like, why wouldn't you just have different shades of metal armor? Like, you could have just black and silver or something. Black metal exists, I guess.
I know.
In the Witcher universe. I don't know, but I compared the series armor to the games, and I think they did it better in the games, and even some cosplayers did a better job. But also, weird. I read an article, and this is a bit sad, but apparently the guy that designed the costumes for this season is not gonna be in the next one. Dun, dun. Anyway, let's move on to some mythical creatures such as elves and dryads. Let's start with elves first. Oh, half and half. Okay.
Half and half. Oh yeah, just my Hufflepuff showing.
How do you feel about elves' clothing?
I'm not sure. It looks like they just took a lot of fabric on themselves.
What were the elves like in the book? Like, were they...
I have no idea.
Because I only had the Lord of the Rings elves idea where they're really rich and like fancy.
There is like racism towards them, and they like a group of just people who attack the poor
travelers.
Merchants.
Okay.
They are not like
the fancy elves,
the fancy elves from Tolkien.
But then that should show on their clothing, and I feel like it was just a bunch of stuff thrown together.
Yeah, but maybe this is just what they had.
I don't know. I just felt like it didn't show me who elves were, and it was the only scenes with elves in it, so it should tell me a bit of a story going on.
No, there was one more elf.
But he was separated, so it wasn't a part of it.
Well, I think there will be more of them.
How about dryads?
Right. I will go half and half because I don't remember. I don't remember what were they wearing.
Well, that's not a good sign, is it?
Yeah.
Like, I do remember a bit, but it did look like generic Amazon-style women in the forest.
I liked their hair. I like how
hair and makeup was really cool.
Yeah.
I feel like it gave you an idea that they're kind of dangerous women.
But I don't remember the clothes. I mean, this was just a bunch of stuff going on.
We're kind of dissing dryads at this point, but yeah, I feel like
dryads not remembering clothes.
It wasn't super memorable, and I feel like I've seen something like this before. Renfrey. Yay! We liked Renfrey's outfit. I think she looked cool because she looked powerful and she looked badass, but she didn't look obviously like... there wasn't too much of it. Like, she just looked like she was having the time of her life trying to find the guy and kill him, and not like, here is me, a strong female character, ha! You know, it wasn't in your face.
Yeah, and I like the detail of the skirt and the pants at the same time. And also I like the wrist band that she had. I mean, she gave the vibe of like the woman, you know, that she travels with her companions.
Yeah. Like her character showed through her clothes, I felt.
Yeah, I think they were really...
Well done.
Well done.
Tisaya.
But am I supposed to say, do I like it, personally?
The costume?
Yeah.
Oh, damn! I think I know why. Because Saya, if you didn't know that, is one of the most historically inspired characters in the show when it comes to the clothing, because most of her outfits do have 1890s vibe somewhere. Like, there's a lot going on.
I don't like...
And you don't like 1890s, so that's obviously why you don't like the costumes.
Her costumes looks very, very similar, like, to this fashion era. Like, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, okay, am I, like, watching 19th century show about witches? Like...
But there is something, honestly, there is something about 1890s that screams witches to me. I don't know why. But, like, remember that witch that we noticed in Harry Potter? She was wearing 1890s style, and, like, if you look at McGonagall, it's like, yeah, there is a lot of Victorian stuff going on there. So there is something, like, magical about 1890s. When I think 1890s fashion, there is something witchy.
You're such a fan.
I know! But, like, just the standing collar that's featured in Tisaya's clothes, and it's also featured in a lot of 1890s capes, it's so cool. Like, it looked, hi, I'm a witch. But also, she was one of the only characters that had actually really fitted clothes. Like, if you look at her like bodice, it's always like really well tailored. So I wonder why that was, because all of the other sorceresses were not wearing clothes that fitted. So
maybe they did put her like obsession with everything fitting and being similar.
Yeah, because apparently that's what happened in the book.
Yeah, in a book she has the compulsive obsession disorder, so she needs everything straight and okay. Maybe that's
what
they thought that's why she will have fitting clothes. I don't think so, but
and also one of the dresses that she's wearing looks a lot like this historical 1890s coat. We're gonna talk about Yennefer in a minute.
Killed girl with the kid.
Killed girl with the kid. That's what I have noted down.
The aristocrat that Yennefer was supposed to protect.
So basically,
yay or nay?
Oh, yay or nay? I think yay, but it looks really modern. You don't get to see much of the clothes, but when she like rips the dress, etc., and when she's running in the desert, it looks really a lot like haute couture fashion shows of like 2018. I don't know. There was this one collection by Dolce & Gabbana, and I feel like there's a lot going on there that looks like a Vogue editorial. So I do like it, but at the same time I'm like, should I like it? Because like it's a fantasy series and it's not supposed to look like a fashion show. We're both fans of Pavetta's green dress.
Yay! I love this dress. I don't know if
I think it's just the color combined with her blonde hair that looks really chef's kiss.
It's also like very kind of medieval, but not really, but I don't know, this dress is just...
Yeah, because the thing I didn't like about the court outfits is that most of them look like cheap medieval stuff that you get on AliExpress or something. It just looked like your typical medieval gowns without actually attempting to be medieval.
They were all very loose. Like what I noticed in the Cintra court, that all the clothing weren't fitting enough. Yeah. And like Pavetta dress was fitting her like a glove. So it was like very nice.
Yeah, but all of the other dresses, especially in like the dance scene at the beginning, I was like, damn, you really need to get some nice clothes. Especially that it's supposed to be like courtiers that have nice clothing because they're rich.
Oh, and also the guests, I think, who like had to kill themselves in the first episode, they look like antique Greece. There was a woman with hair made in this antique hairstyle and with a loose dress that looked like antique Greece or Rome, actually more Rome I think, inspired, which annoyed me a little bit because there I was in like fantasy world and then there is this random Roman woman.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, what's going on?
And that was at the same party where Calanthe was wearing a 1930s dress, so like... so let's move on to... Should we move on to Yennefer?
Already.
Okay,
Ciri!
Oh!
Our baby!
Ciri! Crap, I completely forgot about her.
Oh no, how could you?
So, Ciri's clothes, costumes, yay or nay?
I think yay.
I think yay.
No, it was okay. I mean, she was wearing the same thing most of the time.
True. I really like the blue cloak. Like, her trademark blue cloak looked really cool with the snow and her hair.
I actually liked that she had pants. Yeah. It was very smart because she had to run a lot. So.
And also, those were kind of historically inspired. Because if you think of like late 19th century, early 20th century cycling pants, they were kind of called like a split skirt. So you basically had a skirt, but that was actually pants. And it looks kind of like skirt. At first I didn't notice that Ciri's wearing pants, like I actually thought she's wearing a skirt, until there was like a close-up of her running and I was like, oh, wait a minute. There is this one jacket that she's wearing at the beginning of the series, I think that was first episode, that also kind of looks like a doublet. It has those little buttons in front, and basically the silhouette just looks really similar, and that also fits with the men's fashion. There was this dress that she was wearing at the ball with the soutache that you hated, but it did look really badly done. Like it was all wrinkly, and you could tell it was done in a rush, and it didn't look smooth.
It just looked like cheap.
Yeah.
In a way. I mean, I don't know, but a lot of characters had plain clothes. I like plain clothes, but I'm like poor. Like, if you're like a princess of Cintra, you should really have some embroidery. I think actually the only thing that will make fantasy clothing look alright is embroidery. You can see it in Game of Thrones, as I said before, because I'm a fan.
Yeah, and that's what happened. Like, you had queens, and they had a shit ton of embroidery and decoration because they could afford people making it for them. Neither Calanthe nor Ciri's stuff is actually complicated, and actually the most complex, like decoration-wise complex outfits, I think, are Tissaya's, because she has this one coat that actually looks a bit like 1820s Pelisse. She has a lot of detail going on at the back, whereas...
Jaskier. I think Jaskier too.
True, yeah, and he's no royalty, so...
Oh yeah, I think Jaskier, because I think he just uses all his money for nice clothing. He likes it. So it makes sense.
But it shouldn't be like that. They shouldn't have better clothes than the royalty. I think we're finally moving on to Yennefer, who obviously, as one of the main characters and the main female character for now, because I think Ciri was less featured in the series than Yennefer, she had a lot of clothes. She had a lot of dresses and stuff. So how do you feel about her clothes? I'm going for an A. I hated them the moment I saw the trailer.
I have a problem because I should hate them, but like I like fantasy clothing, so we can go one by one.
Yeah, we could. I have it written down. So first of all, we have the stuff that she's wearing before she goes through her transformation, like before she even goes to the
Aretuza.
Yeah. So you don't really get to see much of it, but I liked it. It looked lame and it looked really dirty. So I think they did a good job on it, and it also reminded me of like children's clothing worn by someone who's not a child anymore. So
and I liked the outfit she was wearing in Aretuza as a student, like the blue dress that all of the other girls were wearing. I think they were okay.
So we have Yennefer's makeover dress that she wore to the ball.
How about we do Yennefer for like dresses, because I have different.
Okay, yeah, we can try that.
We want to just go nay.
For this, I'm going to go nay, obviously.
I would go half and half.
All of the people are like, here is our historical feast, and then she's like, 2010 prom dress? Like, what is that hair? What is that dress even?
I would like to wear that to a prom.
But you'd like to, so that means it's a prom dress. I think the silhouette and the bust and the hair, it just...
I mean, okay, about the hair, I have a little bit of problem with them throughout all the series, because it's obviously... It's done with a heat, you can see it in. But I'm not a fan of a silhouette, but I'm a fan of the thing here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's cool, but then this is something you could see on like Golden Globes.
But I just really liked this moment in the show, like when she chatted, I was like,
it's a badass moment, oh cool. God. If she had like a train, that would be nice.
Train, yeah.
So then we have the assassin's dress, as we called it, which is the one that Yennefer wears as they're being chased by an assassin. Okay, but this one, yay.
Nay.
I like it. What?
Are you kidding me?
Really?
What I didn't like about the dress is the stripes that were horizontal, because it makes me think of the skirts that were popular in 2000s.
You're right, damn it! Like ruched skirts, yeah, you're right.
I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Then I like the texture, like the fabric.
Oh yeah, it was very weird, because I actually noticed it today.
Oh, so we have the helping other people dress.
The elixir dress.
With the cutouts. And there was also another woman in the scene that looked like a Chronic painting, but that's off topip, so let's get back to the dress she was wearing.
When she was giving medicine.
To people.
So, yay. I yay it.
Yay it!
I mean, it looks weird. She has a weird thing here, she has a weird thing here, and a weird thing on the back, and I don't know.
Okay, maybe yay, but just because it matches her personality. But it's also like, why is she always wearing black? Was that like that in the book?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she wears black and white. So the cage dress.
The cage dress, yeah.
I'm going half and half again.
Yeah. So I think the top is cool because it's finally something I haven't seen before, and I think the silhouette is interesting, and the sleeves are obviously really cool.
Yeah, this cage thing is like very weird at the same time. But after seeing it, I was like, okay, it's actually quite cool.
Yeah. But it's the bottom part, like the lower half, that I don't quite like. At all. So there is one shot where she's standing sideways, like I used to like the dress, and then there is this one shot where she's like standing sideways, you can see the whole silhouette, and just the bottom, like the skirt looks so modern, and it just looks really prom, wedding, mermaid tale, like it just really took me out of the story, because I saw it, I was like, that's not The Witcher, that's like a modern dress.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the same when I saw it, that it looked very modern, like the mermaid thing, and that is very fitting in more like 50s style, you know.
Then she wore it at the thingy.
Okay, the mask.
And the mask. Oh my god. What is wrong with the costume people? Like, you don't use that mask seriously.
Yeah, because this mask looked like from 50 Shades of Grey.
Like, if you just type like a carnival mask ball mask or something, the first thing that shows up is this type of mask. Like, I've seen it in a lingerie shop. We've seen it today on a poster for New Year's Eve party. It's everywhere. It's like the worst mask you can choose if you want to be mysterious. It's just so lame. Like, it was on the 50 Shades of Grey poster, I think. Like, why would you use that kind of mask?
We hate the mask. We
despised the mask. It was almost the sole reason why I would not watch the series after seeing the trailer. Like, this damn mask.
Yeah, like if I were like this designer, I would give her an, I don't know, raven mask, like with a face of a bird, or...
you could literally just take a piece of see-through ribbon like they did in Marie Antoinette, and that would be a better solution, because like honestly, why the bathrobe dress?
I'm going half and half again. Because when I saw it on the trailer, I hated it because it looked very like a modern dresses that you can wear to Oscars. So at first I was like, nah. Then I saw it and I was like, okay, it's not that bad as I thought. So I'm not a fan of this one, but
I didn't like the dress because it looked too modern to me and it looked like an 80s dress with a elastic. But also I didn't like the dress because you could tell that it was designed especially so she can undress easily, like for this one particular scene. So I was like, you can basically see the director's notes on this dress. Like, we need something for her to get out of easily and then put it back on in a second. So
and something that she can be like half naked making
witchcraft. But not really. Like, I didn't like it because it was because it was so obvious to me. What is going on with this set? The white the white coat.
Okay, so what I didn't like is the amount of fur here. It was a little bit too much. It looked like a dog. And I didn't like how it fit her. It was okay, this coat, I didn't love it.
I feel like I've seen it sometimes on like middle-aged ladies that are wearing like high-heeled boots with it. I feel like it looks like something I've seen.
That's a good look.
Is it though? And also what I hated about it is that it's long and she's going on an adventure.
I'm actually going to. It's long because it may be cold.
But this scene though where she's going on a rock thing, she's literally on a like rock shelf trying to survive. Do you really think a long warm coat is gonna save her? Because like if she trips on it, she's gonna die anyway. You know what I mean? It's not practical and I feel like she has brains, she knew it's not gonna be the best for like mountain climbing, right?
Yeah, but it like matches her personality. She would be like, I will look good. Like I might die, but
at least I die looking good. Oh, the cut-out dress.
I'm going nay for the first time.
Yeah, I'm going nay as well. I like the color palette and I like the idea of like the cut-out style fabric, but I don't like the silhouette and the fit.
Yeah, the silhouette and the fit, it's my problem too, because I like the sleeves and I like the idea to and the pattern, but it's like loose. Doesn't make sense. Like why would
she would wear something fitting, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like she just looks too lame for a Yennefer. The neckline doesn't work. It should be either lower or like wider. It's just like a t-shirt. It doesn't really do her any good. The fabric is cool though.
Yeah, we like the fabric.
Oh, this rope dress.
Okay,
Yay or nay?
Half again.
Yeah, same.
Oh, I thought we hated it.
I'm
surprised.
I appreciate it, but I don't like it. I saw it on the trailer, I think, or on the poster. No, I think I saw it on the trailer, and I was like, that looks basically like a designer going too far in trying to be original. Like, that looks like someone going like, I need to do something fantasy. It kind of also reminds me of like, if you were a 17-year-old and wanted to go into fashion design and submitted it to some kind of competition, this is what you would come up with. So that's why I'm not a fan, but at the same time, I do appreciate the idea because it's kind of cool. I just don't think it works.
Well, I like the ropes. I like the idea, at the same time I hate it. Because like, I like how it looks, but I don't like that she's going with it on a wall. What if she like goes and there's a tree and she gets stuck? Or what? Yeah. Actually, I saw that
that would be so funny. She's like, oh crap.
I saw that at this one scene that the ropes were longer than her skirt. So what if you like go with a foot on it? And I didn't like actually that whole, what if the arrow goes there? It's a battle of sword and it's like the bloodiest battle ever and you're like, let me show off my dress. I don't think it was a good choice for a battle.
Simple as that.
Yeah, simple as that.
So overall costumes, yay or nay?
Half.
Yeah.
Because there we actually expected much more.
Yeah, I mean from seeing the trailer I actually thought it's gonna be all over the place, a total mess. I think the rating I would give the costumes is kind of the same as I would give the show. Like, I had fun. It wasn't the best.
When you watch it and you think the costumes are not bad, but then you watch Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones and you're like, I mean, it's not the same level.
They didn't have the resources, they didn't have all the people that were hand making the Game of Thrones armors and stuff, like, obviously, but hopefully it's gonna get better.
Maybe it will go yay.
Maybe it will go yay next season, we don't know. Thanks so much to my sister Gosia for joining me today and talking about the Witcher costumes. Our mom is calling! Nay! Nay! See you soon!